Voice okay? Is the voice okay, guys? Okay, so let me start by introducing the session. Today is Monday, the 12th of April, and this is class 10, session 2. Okay, class 10, session 2. Today we'll be working on chapter 1 from Mosaic 1. Last session we talked about what Mosaic 1 is. Exactly what we mean by Mosaic. Last session we had a look at the different aspects of Mosaic. If you look at the book, or the chapter from the book, this is the book, Mosaic 1. These are the authors, Brenda Wegman and Nikki Muzevic. These are the authors of the book. Is the voice very bad? Alauddin, it's not clear? Very low. Okay, let me just adjust the volume. Is it better now? Okay, is it better now? I see. Okay, guys. Okay, great. Okay, so today, as I said, is the second session for class 10. If you look at the book, Mosaic 1 reading, this is the book we'll be talking about today. And as you can see, it was published in 2007. And it's not very modern ones. There are more recent ones, but this is what we've got. So if you move on, there is an introduction for the sheet that it's a mosaic of communication, social studies, health studies, technology, business, history, if you like, creativity, human behavior, crime, law, punishment, etc. So this is a mosaic of topics. The topic seems to be very interesting, okay? And it is academic. This is academic English. Okay? In the book of the you can have a look at it. Just yes, but the actually just let's start here at 18 according to the file. So where you start, that is new challenges. Do you understand the meaning of a challenge? What's a challenge? What is a challenge? What are challenges? What is a challenge, guys? Is it something positive, negative? What do you think? To challenge, this is a way of looking at that. It's a sort of competition. When you compete, yes, Ala, you compete with somebody. This is a sort of challenge. Very good, Ala. Competitions are type of challenge. Competitions. Now, what type of challenges do you have these days? What type of challenges have you got these days? It's positive. A challenge. Why is it positive, Iba? Why do you think a challenge is positive? What makes it positive? Would you like to speak, Iba? Would you like to speak? You can use this chance to speak now. You can use it or lose it. You can use this chance to speak. Iba, do you have a microphone? Everyone, you need to have microphones. Okay. Why would it be positive? How can a challenge be positive? Who can tell us? Ala, Yasser, Ibrahim, Kareem. How can a challenge be positive? No idea, guys? How can the challenge be made positive? When something challenges you, for many people it just gets out the best from you. Yeah, you work hard. In other words, you work hard in order to attain your goal, or to face the challenge. Now, our life is full of challenges. Now, what's the biggest challenge in our life these days? Yes, who can tell me what is the biggest challenge in our lives these days? Exactly, electricity. Yes. For me, the biggest challenge is to get some oil. You know, oil for cars. Yes. Our life is actually full of challenges these days, right? So let's, as I said to the others now, let's go back in memory. Let's go back in memory to our old days, maybe 10 years ago. Yes, staying alive actually is a challenge these days with all the problems that we have in our country. Unfortunately, we have so many life problems. So staying alive in Syria, making a living in Syria is a big challenge nowadays, but hopefully things are getting better, inshallah. Okay? Now let's go back in memory 10 years ago. When you were, how old were you 10 years ago? How old were you? How old were you? 10 years ago? 32? 10 years ago? Yasser? Yeah. So what was your biggest challenge at that age? What was your biggest challenge? You were 12 years old, Iba? Yeah, and this brings me to that age when I have different ages, 12, 18, and you notice that at every age, people have different challenges. For example, Iba, 10 years ago, the biggest challenge for him was just to pass grade 6, grade 6, and to get it with high marks. For Ahmad, it was baccalaureate. Oh my God, the most horrible time in our lives. For Yasser, the biggest challenge was to buy a new car. Yes, but at that time, it was a bit easier than now, Yasser. Yani you could get a car for less than £1 million Syrian pounds, but now, how many millions do you need in order to get a car these days? It's become worse. Okay, so some of you, had some plans to study. Now, some of the students told me that our biggest challenge was to try to find maybe a scholarship, to travel, to study. And some of them said, my biggest challenge was learning English. Who's got this challenge? Is it a big challenge to learn English for you? Is learning English a challenge? Yeah. Why is it challenging? What's up, Abir? What's wrong? What makes learning English a challenge? Iba, the best challenge for you is learning English? Yeah, okay, very good. I mean, let's consider that a challenge and see how hard you will be working to pass the course and to finish all the English levels. If you take that as a challenge, I'm sure that you're gonna make it. Yeah. So why do you need English? What is the reason for learning English? Why are you learning English? I see. Yes. No one speaks English with you at home, neither at work. Yes, that's a problem. So why are you learning English? Yeah, we have not been prepared well at school. They did not take care of a lot with English, right? It was marginalized. It was not one of the best or the most important things like مثلا mathematics or Arabic or other topics or subjects. Why are you learning English, guys? Why are you learning English? Yeah, we need it for in everything with our lives. Exactly. What else? Then we need it for what? Everything. What do you mean by everything? We need it in our jobs. It's important for work. It's important for travel. Yes, Yasser. It's important for business. It's important for learning. So we need it to pass exams. Exactly. So what is the best place in order to improve English? I mean, if you want to travel to improve your English, okay? If you want to travel, what is the best place to learn English? London. In other words, yeah. What is the best place, Abdul Hakim, to learn English? Exactly, it's the UK. If you want to learn British English, it is the UK. British English. For some people, they like American English and it's the USA. Are these the only countries? Some people would go to Australia. There's Australian English nowadays. Others would go to Canada. Okay? So we have different destinations in order to learn English. Okay, do you think there's a big difference between, for example, Britain and the United States in English language? South Africa, okay. Yes, Ala. Do you think there is a difference between British English and American English? Is there a difference between them? Yes, there is. So, do you think there is a difference between America, learning English in America, and learning English in Canada? No? Okay, so look at this chapter. Okay, here. People take on the challenge of learning English for many reasons. For example, it may help them advance in their career. It is used internationally for science and business, and it's the most common language on the internet. Yes. To improve their skills, the students of English often study or work in one of over 45 countries. In this chapter, we will look at two popular destinations. When I say the destination, it's where you can travel in order to learn English. We have two popular destinations. The first reading gives useful information about the United States and some of the customs and attitudes of its people. The second reading presents facts about Canada and discusses the qualities that visitors will find in Canadians that make them different from their neighbors to the south. So this means that there might be some differences. Okay, people who travel to Canada would find it different from traveling to the USA. Look at this. A Chinese verb, a person who cannot tolerate small difficulties can never accomplish great things. It's a proverb. So, if you cannot tolerate difficulties, you won't be able to achieve goals. You won't be able to face the challenges, maybe, if you like. Okay? So do you understand this proverb? A person who cannot tolerate small difficulties can never accomplish great things. Okay, so the key there is differences, challenges and differences. Okay, now we're gonna work on reading skills. Look, we looked at the main title of the chapter, which is New Challenges. What's the relationship between new challenges and this photo, do you think? What can you see here? What can you see in this photo? Do we have here any challenges? He's a runner. Okay. And he's not only a runner, he's a what? Exactly, he's the winner. And look at this winner. When we talked about differences, how is he different from the others? Where do you think he comes from? Yeah, his skin color, his race. Yeah, he might be African, but he's African. He might be African American. So he is different from the others, but still, he is the winner. So we are talking here today about difficulties. We're talking about challenges. We're talking about differences in different aspects. Now, here, the first is first impressions. What's your impression? What's your first impression about the book? Do you believe in first impressions? Do you think that your first impression tells you a lot about people? Is it always true, your first impression, or do you usually change it later? Abdul Hakim, please write me in English. Yes? Do you think first impressions are true? No, not necessarily. It's okay, Abdul Hakim. Sometimes, yes, it usually changes later. Sometimes we have a negative or a wrong impression at the beginning and then we change our mind. Okay, today we'll be reading, we'll be reading about the difference between America and Canada. We have two reading sections, we have two parts. We're going to learn some reading skills. I think you have learned reading skills before, right? You in L3 at least you learned something about the skimming, about scanning, right? About paragraph writing, Am I right? Okay, so now we'll start learning strategies and the skills one by one. Now, I have a long text, but I don't have some time to, or enough time to read it all. I can't stop at each and every word to know the answer. I need to go fast and I need to finish fast. So if you look at reading without knowing every word, this is a strategy. The article in this book contains many words that you know, along with a number of words that you don't know. This is not surprising. Linguists tell us that, for historical reasons, English has a larger vocabulary than any other known language. Practice the important skill of reading without knowing the meaning of every word by following these steps. Yani I should not stop at each and every word. I should suffice. Yani I find it enough to have or understand a general meaning for the text. Look over the article quickly. Pay attention to the title and the headings of the sections. Yani I looked at مثلا the main title, which is new challenges. The main title here is first impressions, and I have what we call subtitles. Subtitles, that is smaller titles if you like. Okay? Now, read the article for the main ideas, and if you learned how to write a paragraph, you know that main ideas usually are where in the paragraph. Where do we usually put the main idea of the paragraph? The topic sentence, do you remember? Where do we usually put it? Yeah, it's usually the first sentence, but of course not all the time. And after that, we explain, and after that, we conclude. Isn't learning how to write helps me read better. I read for the main idea. Certain words have been highlighted. Now in the text, you will see that some of the words have been highlighted in blue. Don't worry a lot, but just try to think about these words. Okay? Skip these words and any other words you don't understand. Don't slow down by looking up words in a dictionary. Keep going. This is how we read, large amounts of reading. Do the exercises that follow the reading, referring back to the text, the article, and reading all or parts of it. So I read in general at the beginning. I do the exercises, I go back and fro, and I solve, or I reread again some part of the text. Okay? 2 or 3 quick readings are better for understanding than one slow reading in which you check up every word. Okay? So this is the strategy here. We never stop at every word. Okay? We have a text about living in the United States. This is the source. Okay? Now, we need to find why did the writer write this text? What is the writer's purpose? Why did he write the text? Okay? What do you know about the United States? Start preparing your ideas, guys. Now, you know something definitely about the United States, don't you? I think you know a lot about the United States. Right, Samah? Ahmad? Kareem? Do you know a lot about the United States? Prepare these ideas. You will see some of these ideas in the reading. Amazing place to visit. To visit or to live, ya Kareem? Yeah? Okay. So, read now without knowing every word. Read the article and let's practice the steps of the strategy. Okay? We want to practice the steps of the strategy. This is the text. Okay? This is the text. Okay, first impressions. This is a map. This is a map of the United States. Notice how big the country is. Okay? Notice the title. Notice the subtitle. Size. You can notice under that the climate. Do you understand the meaning of climate? Climate. What's the climate? You know climate, guys? Can you hear me, guys? Please respond. It's the general weather. We also have something about motion, movement, how they move from one place to another, maybe. By blunt speech, I don't understand, but I will not check it in the dictionary. I will read here to find out the meaning. Do it yourself. Do that, and then you sit. Okay. Read this and you will be listening. Do you like that? Or would you on your own? What do you think? Should I read it or you read on your own? And I time you. Did you hear me, guys? What do you prefer? Would you like me to read the text for you? Or you read yourselves? As I like. Now what do you like, Ahmad? You read alone? Okay, Kareem. Okay, but you will be reading, it's a long one, yes. You will be reading very quickly. Okay? Very quickly. First impression. Reading. I will scroll downward, okay? Start. Yeah, I'm not speaking, guys. I'm just sliding. Yes, you are reading yourself. I'm just sliding down. This is how fast you should read. Read here quickly. Okay, Ala, I'll just take down your name. Ala, 112. Okay, I'm just taking the attendance down. Okay, Ala, thank you. Are you following, guys? Is that quick? Now the second reading by Yes, are you done? Have you finished reading? Yes, was that very fast? Yes, was that quick or slow or okay? A, which one? Fast, slow or okay? And is the text difficult? Is the text difficult? Is the text difficult, guys? So and so. So as you can see from the very beginning, we talked the size of the country. Okay? They said some size, they compared with some distances over the world. You have the map here. The map will help you understand. Then the climate, okay, you have something in blue. Then they talked about how you can travel a lot, how they speak, what society they are. They are a do-it-yourself society. Now I think you understand better what we mean by a do-it-yourself society. Then they how they like their houses on their own, and they talked about how they are, or how the United States is cosmopolitan. You have people from different nationalities, okay, and how you should deal with them. Now, you have now a general idea. You don't understand all the details, which is fine. It's okay. I don't need to understand everything. I understand a general idea. Okay? Now, let's remember what you wrote, what you read. Okay? Mark each sentence with T for true or F for false. Correct the false statement to make it a true. Remember to read the article or part of it again if you have trouble with it. If you don't understand the answer, we can focus more on some parts of the text. And if you can do this activity, you have read well enough for your present purpose. Yani, this reading is enough for my purpose, which is perfectly clear. I should be happy with that. Number 1. The United States has a varied geography, including fields, mountains, and deserts. That's true. Look what they said. I can go back. Okay? It takes 48 hours to travel by train from Chicago here to Los Angeles here. 48 hours by train. Rolling across fields, mountains, deserts. So this is where I find the answer. Yes, it's true. Okay? So the train rolls across fields, mountains, and deserts. The segment we will come down. Continental climate is basically moderate. Is that true? Okay, but it's not true. I agree with you. But what did they say about the climate? Is it moderate? We go backwards. Excellent, Alauddin. You have here so the climate in the continental United States is also one of the great extremes. I don't understand the meaning of extreme. I continue. Maybe this will help me. From New England and New York through Chicago and much of Midwest and Northwest, temperatures vary from sub-zero تحت الصفر in winter to as high as 90 Fahrenheit in summer. So very hot, very cold. These are the extremes. So the statement is false. is false. Number 3, write me the number. مثلا 3 false, 3 true. If people are not very active and spend most of their time reading books, is that true about Americans? They are not very active. Do you agree with Ala and Iba? Yes, Noor, Abir, that's false. Yes, Noor, it's true. Well, actually, this is false. They said they are always in motion. Any motion. I have no. They are restless. They never rest. Restless. I don't understand. What does restless mean? I keep on reading. Most travel whenever they get the chance. They travel a lot. They crowd onto trains, buses, and planes. In increasing numbers, they hike with bags on their backs or ride bicycles heading for the mountains, seashore, or national parks. In this way now, as you can notice, I am reading more details. I'm reading for a second time some important parts. Is a no. They are lazy. They don't only spend their time reading books, they keep in motion. They are restless. So this one is false. I should write F because they said write F. Okay. 4. They are rude and like to insult others with single or simple direct words. Are they rude people? Are they rude people? 4. Is it true or false? No, they're not. It's true, Ahmad. They are rude. Let's talk about that. It's here. Speed. Blunt, yani? Not very polite, is it? Notice what they said. Don't think that Americans are being rude if we tend to speak in monosyllables or answer with a mere okay, sure or no, or greet you with hi. Don't think that we are being rude. No, we're not. Our brevity, our brief answers is not a personal insult. Though to those accustomed to formal phrases, we seem blunt. We seem a bit direct. Okay? So American informality has become more desirable than formal expressions. So they are not blunt, they are not rude, they are brief, they are blunt, they are direct. So don't we are being rude. Number 4 is false as well. They don't insult you when they say hi or no or yes only. You know, in Britain, if you say yes, it's impolite. Say yes, I do. No, I don't. Okay? Number 5. Americans are very interested in their homes and love to show them off, even to people they don't know very well. Are they very interested? Yes. Where do they say that? If you go backward and where do they say homes? I'm scanning quickly between the lines to find out something about homes. Okay? House here. Houses interest Americans greatly. They like their okay? Houses, homes. They spend much of their time thinking and reading and talking about the design of houses, the decorations, how to improve them. Many weekend hours are passed in do-it-yourself projects around the house. Look like this lady. She is taking care of her house. Since they would thoroughly enjoy visiting and examining a house in another country. So they like houses. Okay? So they have the same design. So don't be surprised if you are shown the entire house from top to bottom, including bathrooms and closets. I mean, if you go and visit them, they will show you everything. don't make the mistake of refusing. The whole house may have been cleaned for you. So that's false or true. Is it true? They spend a lot of time thinking and talking about projects to fix up their houses or their homes. 7. They send their servants to huge warehouse stores to buy decorations for their houses. Do they send their servants? Do they send their servants? 7 is true. They have servants. Why not? Why not, Noor? Why it's false? Do they have servants at all? I go backwards to self-society. Notice, it is a do-it-yourself country. We carry our bags, take our laundry, stand in line at grocery stores, or shine our shoes. Whoever we may be, lawyers, professors, bank presidents, or corporate executives, we do things ourselves. Even if we can afford a servant, we don't ask them to do things for us. Anyone who can afford the high cost of service and wants to pay for it may. They can have servants, but they don't have a lot. There is absolutely no stigma in doing, no social stigma in doing one's own daily chores. When you do your private activities yourself, there's no problem, there's no stigma. Nobody would say, oh, look at them, they're doing these low things, no matter how menial these things are. Actually, Americans take pride in do-it-yourself accomplishments. It's not the servant who did it for me, I did it myself. Okay? And they have a great deal of leisure time to projects around the home. So, no, they don't have servants. It's false, not the truth. Okay, guys, this is false. They don't send their servants. Now, Americans come from many different nationalities. Where is the answer here? Do they come from many different nationalities? Without reading, I can say the answer is it's true. Exactly. Here, because people in the United States have come from so many nationalities, there's a far wider range of what is acceptable. So, that is true. 9. No, 8 is it true. Iba, they come, it's stated clearly. Okay, notice here. They come from so many nationalities. Okay? What about 9? The last sentence. They generally prefer formality and don't like people to be informal. Do they prefer formality? Do they prefer formality? False. Look at this text again. They talk here about formality. Read here. If you're not sure. No one needs to feel awkward or uncomfortable in following his or her own customs. Although Americans are noticeably informal, if you prefer to be formal, feel free, you can act as you like, but they are informal. But they don't mind, they accept you as you are. Okay? Because you have different cultures. So, this is false. This is false. Okay? Now, do you understand the text in a better way now after we did this reading? Is the text better? Understanding the text is better? Alright. Now we have more details. After we got the ideas, we have also some main ideas, if you remember. Now, if you go downwards, you have another strategy. It's related to paragraph writing. Do you remember when you wrote paragraph? We said that we have the main idea, which is stated directly here, stated directly. In most cases, a sentence or two states the main idea, topic, sentence. Then this sentence is usually the first sentence. Other sentences develop the paragraph in these ways. How do we develop the paragraph? If you remember, when you wrote paragraphs, you give examples, you give details, you explain the main idea, you expand with the related ideas, you express emotional reactions. We have different ways. So, if we go backwards now, we'll go backwards to the text up there. Notice, from the first line, I have a topic sentence here. It is difficult to really experience or feel the size of the United States. This is the topic. What do you mean by that? I don't understand you. I will show you. To understand that or to get a full impact, you should, for example, take 48 hours to travel from here to here, Chicago to LA. You will go through fields and mountains. Here I am explaining the main idea. Another way of making you think about it is to compare distances. For example, notice, for example, they are giving you examples to explain the main idea. New York to Washington, D.C. They are here, New York and Washington, D.C. The space is about London. It's the same as London to Paris, or Nairobi to Mombasa, or Tokyo to Kyoto if you live in Japan. New York to Los Angeles, from here to here, it's very vast, vast, يعني شاسع, vast area. Okay? Now, it's rather from Lisbon in Spain to Cairo, the space between, or the distance between Cairo and Lisbon, or Moscow to Montreal. Okay? Now this is the first paragraph. The second paragraph. With such distances, the climate is continental, of great extremes. This is the topic. حطولي topic here. What do you mean by great extremes? They will explain for me. The writer will explain for me. From New England, blah blah blah, sub-zero to 90 Fahrenheit. Okay? So as you can see, you have followed here the design of writing a paragraph, exactly how we write paragraphs: topic, explanation, examples, etc. So when you read the text on your own, you will notice that. مثلا, Americans are restless. What do you mean by that? I don't understand that. You have explanation. Have an explanation here. What do you mean by restless? They travel a lot. I am explaining the idea here. Trains, buses, always their packs on their bags, or they ride bicycles, etc. So as you always topic and explanation. Okay. What do they do? Many of them love working. Houses interest them greatly. This is a topic sentence. Now I explain. How do they interest them greatly? I spend much of the idea. Houses interest Americans greatly. طيب, the question. Do we always have clear beginning? Remember in level 3, do we always have the topic in the beginning? As clear as here? Do you have this? Do you have the topic always clearly stated? Or sometimes it is implied? Hello, are you there? Am I speaking on my own? It's not. Yeah, I'm asking a question. The topic sentence is not always clearly stated at the beginning of the text. Sometimes it is implied. متضمن بالنص. Okay? Sometimes it is implied. Okay, we have just analyzed the paragraphs now. We did this. We did number 3. We looked at the main idea of the sentence. We looked at the explanation. We looked how they develop the idea in the paragraph. You need to look at this on your own. Okay, guys? Do you have any questions so far? No question. Okay, let's move to learn another strategy. What is this strategy? It is understanding meaning from context. What do you mean by context? I have a new word. What is the context? Notice, the context of something is its surroundings. Tamaman. It's the surrounding or the situation. The context of a word is what goes before it and after it. So this is can, what comes before it and comes after it here, this is the context. Okay? You can often guess the meaning of a new word by reading past it to the next sentence. I have a new word, I don't know it. I read before, I read after. If it is not enough, I read a sentence before, a sentence after. Okay? So if the meaning is still unclear, read the sentence before the word. If necessary, you can read the whole paragraph. Then go back and try to understand the word again. يعني we can just have some help from context. أفهم الكلمة من سياق النص. Okay? For example, you have the word blunt. Blunt. Okay? The word blunt. You have three meanings: loud and rude, short and direct, personal and formal. If you go back to the text when they use the word blunt, blunt speech, and I read the paragraph. Okay? Don't think that Americans are being rude. So rude can help me understand the blunt with okay. Okay is short answer. Sure is short answer. No. Hi. This is brief answer. It's not a personal insult. Okay? So from here, they say, those accustomed to formal phrases, we seem blunt. We seem direct. We give short answers. So the best answer here is to the word adjective. Direct from the context مثل ما شفناها بسياق النص. Okay? طيب, what do you mean by the word stigma? First, decide the part of speech. Stigma, is it noun, verb, adjective, adverb? What do you think? Yeah, it seems to be a noun. Yes, Ala. Now, new rule, good word, negative mark. Let's look at stigma in the text. What did they say? Let's look. Afford the high cost of service in this country and wants to pay for it, but there is يعني they can do it, but there is absolutely no social stigma in doing one's own daily chores. What do you mean by social stigma? Is it something positive or negative? It's negative mark, isn't there? It's nothing negative. The society will not say, oh, look what he's doing. Yeah, bishum, as we say in Arabic. He is doing his daily chores. What do you mean daily? You go to school, when you go to work, when you dress, when you bring up your things, when you go shopping, when you clean your shoes. These are daily chores, no matter how menial. What do you mean by menial? قد ما كانت menial, it's not a social stigma. So what do you mean by menial? Chores, stigma. Let's go downward. stigma, you rule, good word, negative mark. Yes, it's negative mark, stigma. طب daily chores, شو قلنا chores? Tasks, accounts, ولا pastimes? It's very good, it's task. What is my leisure time? أو before that عندنا كلمة menial. Is it difficult, attractive or low? Very good. No matter how low, like cleaning your shoes, you can do it yourself. Okay? Leisure. What is my leisure time? You have leisure. Not working, working, or family. It's not working. If you look at leisure, where حطوها هون leisure? I'm looking at leisure. Yeah. Many may devote a great deal of their leisure time to projects around the home. So when they have free time, they have leisure time, they do work around the house. Exactly. Go. The word thoroughly, assume, refusing, heritage. I'll give you 1 minute to read these sentences, to read these words and choose the right answer. You have 1 minute. Yes, thoroughly, somewhat, completely, or possibly. Look at the word thoroughly. What part of speech is it? Okay? They love to look at each other's houses since they would thoroughly enjoy visiting and examining. It's an adverb, very good. ly. So they would thoroughly enjoy. They would enjoy it a lot, very much. So thoroughly, completely, exactly. Thoroughly means completely. طيب, the word assume. Because they enjoy that, they assume that you enjoy the same. They doubt, ولا believe, ولا fear. They assume, they doubt. Okay, look here, Habir. They said here, I have to look. They're doing this, okay? Because they enjoy visiting and examining a house, they assume that you will probably have the same desire. that you maybe have the same desire. They assume what they believe exactly. يعني بيفترضوا بيعتقدوا. Here it means it's not. Okay? It means think. Because they think that you as well, and they believe. Okay? They don't doubt, they are sure actually, because they think, because they like it, they consider, they think that you like it, they believe that you like it. Tamam? Number 8, refusing. What does it mean to refuse? Don't refuse if they say, would you like to see the house? Don't say no. Okay? What is heritage? What is our heritage? Look at the word. Yeah? If you know this word, they said, have grown up with a common heritage. In some countries, like in our country, we have a heritage. We have heritage. We have our own system of thoughts, systems of ideas, of thinking, history, traditions. So heritage is actually the first answer. It's not the physical appearance. It's not economy and class. It's way of thinking, traditions, and history. So when I have a new word, I try to see it in context. I try to decide the part of speech. I try to read before and after and choose the best answer. Any questions so far? Are you tired? You can have 1 minute break while I take down your attendance. بس نسجل الحضور, okay? You can just have 1 minute to relax, okay? Okay, Samah and Iba. Iba, are you in class 9 as well? Samah or Iba? Okay, I will add you to the second one. Okay, guys. Analyzing suffixes. Analyzing suffixes. Now, in English, we have something called affixes. Affixes can be divided into prefix, pre, that is you fix before, like when I say مثلا, like I say pre-intermediate. Okay, pre. What has changed? It was intermediate, but then started pre-intermediate. In the prefix, what has changed here? I changed. Yes, I put it before. I changed. It was intermediate, started pre-intermediate, post-intermediate. I changed the meaning. إذا the prefixes change meaning. Okay? Well, if I say intermediary, intermediary. If I say logic, logical. What has changed with suffixes? I add suffixes at the end of the word. What changes? We change what? Logic, logical. We change part of speech. We change the part of speech. Okay? Now, look at suffixes here. A suffix is a letter or a group of letters we put at the end of a word to form a new word. For example, suffixes can make a noun, person, place out of a verb. يكون عندي verb مثلا like read. When I say reader, I change it from verb to a noun. Or an adjective, a word that describes a noun out of a noun. When I say مثلا logic, logical. Learning common suffixes can help me increase my vocabulary. If I learn the meaning of these vocabulary, I understand better. For example, comfort is a noun, comfortable is an adjective, إذا كانت noun became adjective able, logic noun, logical, and consult is a verb, consultant is the person who consults, read, reader, tranquil, tranquility, help, helpless. So you can see that they change meaning and they have a special meaning. For example, look here. Now in this session we are doing many sentences, but in the future we will not be so slow like this. We will be faster. Okay? Number one, able means relating to the action of a verb. It makes adjectives out of verbs. Afford is a verb. Affordable is an adjective. Affordable house. Okay? Love, lovable, something you can love. طيب ال AL, it makes adjectives out of nouns. Things that relate to nature, مثلا natural, nature, natural. طيب what do you call a job you get for only one season of the year? We call it a. Describe the job. Season. add AL شو بتصير؟ seasonal. فصلي. عمل فصلي أو مؤقت. And means a person who does the action. It makes a noun out of verbs. مثلا serve هي verb. Servant هو the person who serves, الخادم. Read is a verb. Reader is the account, حساب, accountant, المحاسب. A person who applies for something is called what? إذا بيحط له and. The verb who applies, you put and. What do you say? Applicant. Very good. Apply, applicant. حطينا CANT. Applicant. المتقدم. Very good. طيب what do you call a person who can teach? Capable of doing the action. Teacher. What do you call people who are cordial? They are known for their cordial. ITY means the state of or condition or a quality, يعني خاصية بالشخص أو بالشيء. It makes a noun out of an adjective. Cordiality. Cordiality. Cordial. Cordiality. Yes. Less. Suffix less means without. It makes adjectives out of nouns. A situation without hope is hopeless. A person who's causing no harm is harmless. Okay? So as you can see, we have changed the part of speech. With suffixes. Now, you have some examples here. Making new words by adding suffixes. You have 16 words here. I'll give you 2 minutes to do 8. Yalla, read this and do 8 sentences. You have 2 minutes. Okay? 2 minutes to do this exercise. يلا. Okay, so what do you call a person who settles or comes to live in a place? We call him a settler. What do you call a person who gardens, works in a garden? A gardener. Very good, Ala. A person who drives is a driver. A chair that gives a lot of comfort is comfortable. Very good. Some groups of people are formal. They are known for their formality. Formality. They're known for their formality. Other groups of people are informal. They are known for their informality. People who inhabit a region are the inhabitants. Very good. And we accept certain ways of acting. Those ways are acceptable. Very good. Acceptable to us. Blah blah blah. You will find all these words. بالمناسبة, all of them are in the text. You can look back and all of the words there. So we are learning these words in blue. Okay? So this is very interesting. I know about it. So next part is another strategy is understanding compound words. Compound words are two types. We have two types. Some English words are made up of smaller words joined together. أي شيء compound يعني مركب. Sometimes these words contain hyphen. This is a hyphen. Sometimes they are hyphenated. It's called a hyphen. Okay? Sometimes they contain a hyphen. Sometimes they don't contain a hyphen. To understand them, look at the words and break them into smaller parts. Then you can usually guess their meaning, especially if you also find the clues in the context. إذا كان في دليل بالنص, that's much better. For example, do it yourself project. This is all one word. يعتبروها one word with hyphens, which describes the project. Hey, this is an adjective, by the way. Do it yourself a project. This is a project that you have to do on your own. This is hyphenated. Bedroom, كمان compound, but it consists of bed and room with no hyphen. They are written as one word. It's the room with a bed, the room for sleeping. Is that difficult? So let's have some more compound words. Look here. Understanding compound words, guess the meaning of the words in italics below by looking at each individual word and the general word. Write the meaning in the blanks. For example, compound words with a hyphen. Kim wanted to buy a CD with some easy listening music. شو يعني easy listening music? Music that is soft and easy to listen to. Easy listening music is with a hyphen. حطيناها هون with a hyphen. This is a compound adjective describing music. It's a music that is easy to listen. مثلا my friend cannot go out until he finishes his to-do list. شو يعني to-do list? It's chores or activities or actions that he needs to do. Okay? Now what about Chicago? Chicago is an overnight train trip from New York. Overnight كمان هي compound adjective describing the train. هذا الترين شو هو؟ It's a trip, train trip that continues through the night. يعني رحلة تستغرق الليل كله. Okay? Air conditioning is widespread. شو يعني widespread؟ يعني it spreads everywhere. تمام؟ In the same way, I'll give you 1 minute to read the rest of the sentences here and think about the meaning. Okay? Let me ask علاء الدين, you do number 3. نور, you do number 4 هون. ماشي؟ عبير, you do number 3 here. عبد الحكيم, you do number 4. Yasser, you do number 5. Iba, you do number 3 here. Ahmad, number 4 here. Okay? Usamah, you do number 4 here. I mean, but you read them all. نعملهم كلياتهم. Okay, you have 2 minutes. You do them all, Iba. Yalla. Don't worry. Just read. Power problem, and I'm back again. We have to finish very quickly, guys. My friends, we did number 2. Number 3 now. The bookstore has a big section of self-help books. What do you mean, self-help books? What are self-help books? These are books. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? Okay. Is in self-help books. Exactly, books that help me what? Help me do things by myself. Okay? Her brother always helps people out. He is real do-gooder. That is a person who does good to people. He is a do-gooder. He is a person who... What do you mean by a do-gooder? Yes, what do you mean by do-gooder? Somebody who does good things to help others. Very good. They don't use long formal expressions of greeting or farewell. What do you mean they don't use long formal expressions of greetings or farewell? What do you mean by farewell? What is meant by farewell? When I say farewell and you're saying goodbye, exactly, I think this is a piece of cake. So in this way we know the meaning of some compound words. So I'm going to stop here, and next lesson we'll start with number 8. Okay? Next lesson we start with number 8. Okay? I think it's very simple. I'm not going to upload or this file, the second part maybe. Let's see. I'm going to upload the whole chapter for you. Look, if you want to improve, you need to prepare before you come to class, and you need to study directly after the class, because you have a lot of things to do and you don't have a lot of time. I will be sending you the material chapter by chapter. So every lesson you need to work hard so that things don't accumulate. حتى ما تتراكم وتصير عندي مشكلة آخر الكورس. Okay, I will upload this together with the lecture. Thank you very much. Ramadan Kareem. When they tell us about Ramadan timing, you will receive an email. Okay? Bye-bye. I hope that you enjoyed the lesson, and I hope that you found it useful. Same to you all. Thank you.